go. Ah, the nice sound of silence. Those of you that TIG weld will know exactly where I'm going with this already because you already see the victim over here. uh, this is a fantastic machine. I absolutely love it. For those of you that don't know, HTP, this machine is actually known as a Stel. And for those of you that don't know who Stel is, Stel's like Miller for the rest of the world. Kind of like in the States, nobody knows who DHL is anymore, but DHL is probably bigger than UPS and FedEx for the rest of the world. So I got a little tired of hanging on to a super hot torch, so I had bought, I picked this thing up probably about 5-6 months ago with the CK20 style torch, and allows me to do a lot. Yeah, it's gone. Allows me to do a lot longer welds without burning my little fingers. So I said, you know what? Let's stick the water cooler on it, and because I've had enough of this, and this is what you get. This old Tony already did a video on this thing. I think Jeff sent him his. I had to pay for mine, and I paid enough for it, that's for sure. When they tell you that the thing isn't really that loud, I have news. It's not loud. It's insanely loud. This is what you hear. Now this does ramp up. The fan spins up a little faster when it starts getting hot, and then it comes right back down real quick. This thing, on the other hand, runs full tilt all the time. And my welds have sucked because of it. I find myself shaking and frustrated, agitated, pretty much pissed off, and I said, tonight, I'm finished. This thing is getting solved. So let's look inside. I've already pulled the screws out of this thing. Let's take off the fancy 40-year anniversary edition cover, I guess. And everybody that has Prime Welds or any probably those cheapy machines off of Amazon will instantly recognize the internals of this thing. Nothing cosmic. My machine is straight 220 because I don't do any 110 welding. So what you've got is you have this very, very small set of wires that plug into the back, and that's kind of the convenience. And one of the reasons to buy this for your HTP is because, well, the plug is plug and play. Over here we have I wire lamps with a bigger cord. Well, we're going to see what this thing draws because I'm curious. It probably doesn't draw very much. The 220 comes into the switch in the front, which is this guy here. Gives you a flow alarm. I haven't had any flow alarm issues. I understand some people do. Power comes over to, yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, don't do this to your cords. Be nice and give them a little more breathing room. Let's see. It looks like we've got a little AC transformer up here. I have to find out what she's doing. I'm guessing it's probably taking our input 220, dropping it down to something for whatever this flow alarm guy is here. Whenever you see something like this, now keep in mind, this is my first time ever inside this machine. And I've had it, like I said, 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. When you see something like this, and that's Stickum, it tells you there was a label there that somebody didn't want you to see. Why, I don't know. So that's interesting. All right. Of course, this is the main reason for all the noise that we get on this thing. Let's take a look inside the coolant tank. Of course, I've got the HTP pink stuff, but when I'm done with this, it's going to be goodbye warranty. The way that this thing is kind of piped, and it's a little tough to see, but more water comes out here on the bottom, heads over to the other side, goes to the pump, takes a U-turn out of the pump, heads to, okay, comes back up here, goes out to the torch as cool. Now, they've tapped off of this for some reason. I don't know why, unless maybe if you use a larger torch, I would assume that you can probably only get so much water flowage through a 20. So whatever extra they have, they've decided to run through this little blue tube back through here and dumps into the tank. Noise issue number 1. This sounds like you taking a leak at 4 a.m. And then some. There is another tube sitting up here, this really little short guy right there, and it comes over and pees outside. Why, I don't know. I found a little drip in there. Maybe condensation. It's probably just a vent, basically. I suppose it would have been a little easier to give you a vented cap, but instead this is their method of venting. I don't see this tank pressurizing. It certainly shouldn't. And there's our radiator in the back. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's continue down the road. As the water gets heated up in the torch, it comes back in the red, hits here, goes across to the other side, drops into the this pipe of the radiator, heads down, comes back up, and then dumps back into the tank. Let's we can see it in action here. Jesus. So there is return, and this is excess. Take a piss at 4 a.m. So a little longer hose on that one would definitely quiet things down a bit. There we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of the power. Oh, you know what? While we're here, let's see what kind of amps this dude's drawing running. I'm curious. So we're gonna put the amp clamp on here, and let's find a wire to stick. And maybe one of these blue ones. Right there. It's not showing very much, so how about that one? Okay. There we go. Alright. So there it is. It draws 1 amp. God, is that thing hideous. Let's look at the pump. Let's say pump says made in Italy, single phase, half a horsepower, 50-60 hertz, so they can get away with this motor wherever they want. What is that? 8 microfarad. So it must have I'm guessing the capacitors inside of there. Sure like to know what it says underneath here. Probably doesn't matter. I don't really care. I know it's 220. Alright, now the thing everybody wants to know. Everything has to do with this fan. This fan is reverse thread on the bolt down there. And now you're going to have to go buy fans. So let's look at the size of what you have to work with in here. You have, let's see, we're right there. You have 9 inches of width, okay? And you can stack fans to your little heart desires if you want to run them all the way to the floor. You can stack them to 11.5 safely, and you won't get tangled up in the top. 12 is pushing it, so let's call it 11.5. So 9 by 11.5. Fill that area up with fans. Wire the dudes to run full time. Tap into after your switch up here, so the fans will come on and off when you throw the switch. And take this thing off and I don't know, wear it on your head, make a hat out of it. But outside of that, if I don't fix this thing, I'm going to chuck it in the yard because I can't stand listening to it anymore. You'll have plenty of cooling. It'll be dragging air across this motor. The motor seems to be pretty heavy duty, and it's got some pretty good sized fins on it, so I wouldn't even worry about that. The pump is buried back here, so you're certainly not getting any cooling on that pump whatsoever. Maybe it has a fan on it, but I highly doubt it. All right, that's about it. Fix your water cooler that you definitely paid too much money for. Do this again? Nope. Like I said, the only reason to do this and spend this money, in my opinion, is because you get the cord that plugs directly into the machine. That's it. And you probably could even come up with something other than that. So, all right. Thanks for watching.